Nope, that's not going to be enough. Shin's got goals, man.
Now, TYLOO is one of those teams that I didn't know exactly what to expect from coming into the group stage. They went out and impressed everyone. Phenomenal plays coming out from this team. Now I want to see them do it again here, though. We're full reset. We need to see TYLOO. We need to see Shen and Xiaoyang go out and wave the banner and say, we got the momentum going still from our previous games to be able to continue forward.
We do have the res that came out on the opposing side for Cerberus, but remember, this is a 3v3 all lined up. Tycon's trying to step in. It's going to be 7-5-5 that actually gets the knock. Rest of TYLOO's going to be coming in, and Shin opening up the door. Tycon's going to be on the opposing side of that, opposite side of that tree. Long's going to come in, and you can see Shin already knows exactly where he's at. But it's going to be a Mox that comes in with a big hit onto it, and TYLOO, our first team eliminated.
Salute is going to carry us today, so hopefully, hopefully, I looked at Salute as well, and he was a little worried looking, so we'll see if this early commotion is going to become an issue. Tygon finds the first one, gets the flush as well, and able to dodge and weave as Dplus, as I would feel forced to continue going.
Ooh,
wrong
car. You just kind of get a vibe for what's going on right now. DK now also making their approach. They're going to be rolling right in between LG, just passing Cerberus. Petrichor Road's just going to be the south of them. But as they move forward, they're going to be moving into that Daytrade sight line. I wouldn't be surprised if that Wizard Tower is going to be what they're going to opt into, because
Sneakers just out of the car, right?
Should be restful. Oh no,
hey,
maybe
you say
not.
that, but nope. Underneath the tire, he finds a Belmoth, tried to find it with the bolt, but not going to happen. And
what we need to be looking at right now is we've got a buildup that's going on onto the south, and yes, that's going to be Cerberus, Petrichor Road just getting picked apart. FaZe on the opposing side of it, and it's just down to a one-member. Cerberus still living in, putting in a ton of work, and they're going to go down. But this is not done yet. FaZe has still got some vision, some mindset on what's going to be happening over here. But this is also happening over on the western side, where we do have, it's going to be Gen.G and Soniqs.
With the circle shifting far north, it's obvious that these edges are going to be burning. Question mark now out as well as Loki finds a three-piece. No matter if you got a bad knee or not, he's still going to be able to frag out, takes down the entirety of Question mark, and Soniqs now trying to wrap their way further forward. First one goes down to the hands of Tiggleton. Finds the second as well. Now he needs to commit to the heal because he's running down low in phase 3 and it's about to hit phase 4.
And once they crest up this hillside, it's going to be 17 that actually has vision on him, and they know this. PO all by himself. PO things paying off, but that means that he is now the last one up for his squad. 17 moving more aggressively into this as the new circle is popped. It's kind of just centered up on the landmass itself. Mime looks like they're going to just go ahead and leave him behind.
Pio a little disjointed from his team. We know that he likes to play this play style of going out and making things happen on his own, but when his team is then attacked and he is not able to really go out and help at all, it's just troublesome. As I say that, thank you, Pio, for disproving my point, because bad Pio things can really quickly turn into good Pio things. But even if he does get these 2 kills, I'm sure that he would have wanted to really have his teammates alive here too.
And that's kind of the problem, right? Is if you're Soniqs, you're like, the only one we didn't kill was Pio. Where could Pio be?
I like what Pathenpong is doing here. It doesn't matter that he might be the cheapest player in Fantasy right now. He is buying so much time for his team to reset. He is not just constantly peeking with them 24. He's sit back waiting, forcing 17 to prioritize him in that shack and allowing for his team to reset. Unfortunately, though, Xiaowu is there. He has another plan and has to run this first of all.
Now,
Loki again?
Just making go of it, and LG just cannot find a path inside of a circle to save their lives, hence why they're always dead, right? But anyway, T5 still just trying to hold it together down here. This is going to be Rosted taking the shots into 17 Gaming with a little bit of combined effort, while we do see TE taking some shots into T5, who really can't move too much. This is just that Valley fight, man.
Yeah.
It's just... nobody really comes out of this clean.
And now is when NaVi can consider going down here. They've seen the elimination of one team. They've seen all the damage done on the other side. This is when they can start harvesting on the edge. Xiaobei should be down to this nade. Nope. If not the first one gets him, then at least the second one should. Nope, not going to happen either. Able to dodge and weave, get out of that one. And in the end, it's actually going to be 17 out on top. Pathenpong falls down to blue. Rusted is taken down too. And Loki, the lone survivor of Danawa, continues to rack up points.
This is great. He was watching. He saw out the fact that NaVi got distracted for just 1 second, tried to send it in, but the problem with it is his face is still going to be defended in.
If you're Falcons trying to cross a road, and you have the entirety of Daytrade and Expendables sat on the other side just waiting for you.
Yeah, Falcons, I was going to say, there's not a lot that's going to be able to be done there. Circle does pop, FaZe and a Daytrade feeling pretty good, but let's be honest, also NaVi to some degree, even though they're not inside the circle itself. They just want to take out this last 17 member that just refuses to go away. And with that, going to go ahead and feed over the blue. No surprise on either one of those. You know, whenever we've got so few alive at this stage, don't feed a point over, right?
Oh no.
No, he's gonna go for it. He's gonna reveal. He's got to hit these shots.
There's no way. That one one's gonna hurt. In any case, Adrian at least got some placement points. He was a solo player with 11 alive and he makes top 5, so there's that. Well, that's probably all he can take away from that situation. But here comes Expendables. As shit, this fight was bound to happen eventually. They didn't want to go into Daytrade, and now they're forcing the fight against NaVi. Delwyn up and over, fights the first, goes for the second as well, but can't quite connect.
It's going to be NaVi that's got their backs up against a wall in this one example, trying to be careful, but it's going to be FaZe also coming back behind, gives no space.
I think right now Expendables are trying to figure out which play do we go for, and they have to push up now.
Positioning is massive. He does get spotted out. 777 reads it, moving in, but then the lines open up for Daytrade. It's going to be Flash that hits the shots into him, but now the Expendables know that they need to move. FaZe now going to be more aggressive into this. Jeems, Fex, as well as Kurexi all moving down the hillside.
And Flash with just 14 bullets to work with, not going to be any more he can do. Nice reset once again from Tanwoo and Expendables. No flushes so far. FaZe have to be real fast if they want to punish off of this.
I mean, again, just a clean, quick firefight coming out from the Expendables, sitting at 8 kills right now. And FaZe has control over the circle, and they're moving aggressively into this, but they had to leave Gustav back. So 3 members in FaZe now moving aggressively in, gets the shots, knocks 2 of them, and it's going to be Tanwoo on the other side now looking in patiently.
Yeah, this is FaZe written all over it. Great timing on their part to come on down. Again, keep in mind, FaZe hasn't really had any good endgame performances in the group so far, so for them to come out with a win, they would rather play it safe, rather claim that win than go out, potentially risk it all, and end up in third. So nice good finish off here for FaZe in a game that I could only imagine they're able to bring home.
Yeah, this is going to be it for the Expendables. The hillside just too strong. The defense lined up from FaZe. He should have a pretty good idea that they're all going to be up now. Here comes the hillside push. They now know, start to throw everything in. Flash going to go for something. He's got a shield up, but yeah, not too much you can do there. FaZe, though, 10 kills and just a dominant win. It's a very weird predicament that's based off of what's going on with the circle itself. You guys saw the end of the last game, so you're kind of familiar with this area. FaZe kind of come in. Kurexi really wants to try to make sure he secures this one's down. Gustav is going to get caught out. One this time it's going to go through. Shots out, but no! Kurexi's going to go down, and FaZe, they had themselves a great first game, but the second game not looking too good already.
Dplus, we talked about him in the previous game, not so good on the aggression, but really, really impressive throughout group stage when it came to defending a spot against the opposing teams. And NaVi, well, they had a good game from this spot last game. They want to take it once again.
Just stepping in, a good bit of like opening nades just to go ahead and kind of break open the doors, get everything. Now they've got to do the more complicated part, but just the and even that beat. What the absolute hell? That was so cleanly played. Now steps back away, he's taking some damage, and that was just technical. They took damage off of it, but those angles were so tight, and he still hit that.
NaVi is as warm as ever, and Dplus just felt the pain of the world champion team. And now Danawa is flying into that exact combat. Look at this, they're seeing no cars, the doors are closed, they think it's safe, they're in for surprise. As soon as they hit the ground, Loki finds the first one, Soul goes down instantly after.
And Theerathon 5 trying to hold this as clean as they can, but already 2 members down, just descending into this one. Danawa is trying to hold it, but it's just getting picked apart on their landing, and this is what I was talking about. Remember, this is the squad that was getting harassed by Falcons as they were taking off, and where they were wanting to drop into, and with the no vehicles off of Theerathon 5, that's where we see the positioning in, but
there's no way TYLOO is flying
more.
here.
Our TYLOO coming in, they're coming in pretty fast. I think that might be going more coastline. They can hear this. They can see the trace. They're not gonna stop.
They have to hear and see what's happening, but where do they fly? They're already committing downhill. They're gonna land straight on top of Petrichor Road. I'm not sure what's going on here. I don't think Petrichor is sure what's going on here either, but they have to back off because they have a whole new fight on their hands.
They have got to be so cautious with it. TYLOO trying to hold it together. They're gonna go in with shots. Petrichor Road is gonna be out. Unofficially, Falcons probably assisted T5 in that fight so much.
That's an ambush. That is an ambush set up perfectly by Soniqs, and Expendables have no clue what was waiting for them. Once again, we're seeing these trap plays, and this time around, Expendables are completely torn to pieces.
I really liked it. It's hard to hit a nade on that curve in that hillside. Molotov will just hit and spread, be a little bit easier with it, but YOLO says, nah, man. We're getting a little tired of this one. But he's now just him, Suju, the only ones that are going to be up, and Daytrade as well as LG both taking some shots into it. Luckily, this reposition coming out from the Falcons into the east means the fact that Cerberus is a bit more distracted, can't really shoot in the backside of it. Suju got to step in, take down Nurens, and look So close. He's just stepping in, going for the spray, and he got away with that safely. I thought he was going to be dead right there.
He is. There he falls. Tried to go for the flash. Not going to work out for him. Spellmuth just full commits to the peak. That's one more down. And Sushi now the only 17 player left alive. Now, Daytrade did take casualties too, as Norrens was taken down, but with a half-second left. Actually, to say that Sushi goes down as well. That's 17 completely out, as now Falcons, the last team to join the party, have arrived.
The 4 members of Falcons right now are starting to collapse in, and they've got to be cautious. NaVi going to send it down the hillside right into Soniqs. NaVi knows where they're at, played around it, moved in, but there just wasn't the cover that they wanted.
Soniqs sat here earlier, and NaVi thought surely they would have left by now. Not quite the case. Soniqs haven't had to move, and all the kills are just coming to them. And just like that, it's only Uber left alive. Does he commit to getting off this hillside, or does he wrap back north knowing that his teammates are done for? You could only imagine that he's gonna make a run off of this. No way he's gonna get down here safely. He is a phenomenal player, don't get me wrong, but the longer you stick around here, the bigger the chance that you fall down with the rest of your team.
LG is coming up back behind. They heard what's going on with Soniqs. They're about to pounce into this. Tickleton cannot make the commitment into Uba. I was so wanting to see a Tickleton Uba 1v1, but instead, Mime says, no, I need assistance. I've got some friends over here, and Luminosity Gaming wants to get control over this because this opens up them to have control of the entirety of the majority hillside.
Nice timing bolt there by Soniqs. You had Tick still rotating in. You had Strimsy trying to go for a rest. What do? We don't need guns right now. Instantly pull out the smoke launchers and set up a barrier. Do not allow for LG to realize that they have a massive upper hand should they commit to this fight. So time being bought, everyone's healed back on up. Nice reset there by Soniqs.
He's presently in a vehicle repositioning and using this opportunity, but they're now having to make the directed commit in, and it looks like that fight's about to pop off in just one second. Question mark trying to make their cross. Salute trying to hold it together, but he's got himself the shotgun prepped. Goes for the pop. Is he going to get another one? No, he isn't. Best of luck. Limps into this building.
3 HP to work with as he survives the onslaught that could have been one more solo performance from Danawa, but down goes Salute. As you said before, Uber was here. I like the flank attempt. Unfortunately, though, a single player. It's going to be an easy find for Sneakers.
This is an interesting set of brewing that we've got going as Falcons now trying to make their rotation.
I mean, Cerberus are just maneuvering this forest to perfection. They're wrapping around, they're spreading out, they're taking full control. Falcons nowhere to go. They know they have Daytrade just on the other side of this hill. Flash should be seen by now, you'd imagine, as they're getting ready for this fight. So the regional battle's on. It's APAC to the east, and it is NA to the southwest. To Luminosity just over that ridgeline. Flood ready and waiting for the push from Sneakers. Finds one early with a nade.
So well cooked, and now just going to go ahead and sit, wait. Next nade's going to come out. H1 cresting up the hillside. So he's
just running for it.
He just steps into it. I mean, that's what you got to do when the nades start going out, right? Several of them come at you while the pin's pulled. Make the push, get the knock.
You know what? I don't mind it. Whenever you see the second nade thrown, you go, he's probably going to throw a third as well. If I can catch him with nade in hand, so be it. And he does exactly that. H1 finds Flood now with the molly as well. So Kick, all of a sudden, just in a split second, finds himself very, very lonely. Strimsy peeks over the top, goes for a knock, but realizes that they have to go for the res instead.
Gen.G moving a bit more aggressive into this, and it looks like they might want to try to third party. Just 2 members, though. The pathing for this is actually probably one of the better ones that they could take, because they could just step in and fourth party this the moment it starts to pop off. With Cerberus now taking those shots in, Soniqs is taking shots in what's going to be going on with Daytrade. That stalled out that fight. That means that this is kind of a 2v2 style squad fight between both. And while this is going on, Gen.G is still kind of flanking around to the south, back behind Soniqs. This is slow roll firefighting, nobody wanting to commit too much just yet because they know the third and fourth parties are coming. Soniqs now starting to move in, seeing if they can get more out of it, but that means that the duo from Cerberus now coming in from the north is going to be a little bit more pinched into this. Daytrade have walked right into a thick position, and they are just going to get pulled apart here. There is nothing they can do.
This is going to be absolute chaos in just a moment, with the TYLOO now being able to wrap around Cerberus as well. They've not been shot at by Theerathon Five, and therefore it's gone unnoticed to the eyes of Cerberus that they are down here. Himas, though, prime nade lopped on over. It's going to take down Strimsy. Look at this, 11 kills for Soniqs, 9 already for Cerberus. These 2 teams are out for blood.
H1's got to be careful with these peaks. He's already built. Mott's going for the spray and narrowly makes it back behind, but with the combined efforts, that's a nice double tap from both sides of this one. Now Tickleton's got to realize, okay, do we go for it or not? We leave it alone. Gen.G's coming up back behind him, and suddenly Soniqs, what you just did to Daytrade's about to be what happens to you, but that's going to be a unified Cerberus standing up against him. Hamas lines into one, but finally Mime spots out what's going on with Gen.G, and this is just chaos. Soniqs out. How much more of a push do we see come out from Gen.G?
Gen.G gets the double in very very, very good fashion. Slow moves, tree to tree, bush to bush. Don't aggress if you don't have to. But now with opponents right ahead of them, might as well take the shot. Now PO does get knocked, so they will have to try and reset. But Cerberus, we know they're not a team to sit around and wait this one out. They want to go and fight them in return, and they know that they have the numbers advantage.
But they're so nervous. They know the fact that Tyler's back behind him. And Moss unlocks this firefight. Sure, go for your res on a PO. We're going to go ahead and for the fight on the opposing side of it. Tycon now starting to lead the way with Isaki, but they're walking close range up against Gen.G. PO playing the outside of smoke. He's going to go down. EJ defends him. PO's going to go down again. Cerberus walks into the smokes, believes in their firefighting, and they are rocking it.
And just when you thought they were about to fall apart, here comes Tycon, one of the powerhouse players of the team. Raptor on the side, spots taming down to low HP, has to go for the reload low. Fortunately, the smokes are there, working in his favor. Finds one more as he swings the corner, and now it's just EJ left alive. Does Tycon get the first aid off? Does the smoke fade away before this one comes to a close? No! The nade on point as TYLOO from the east finds one, finds two, clean sweeps the south, and then wraps their way up north. They were patient. They sat back. They waited it out, and now they find themselves in the top 3. A lot of damage done, but as you said, that blue show Nate just short. Best of luck now, though, with the smokes deployed, able to get all the way up towards Theerathon. Both of them down to low HP, and Theerathon gets him down with the burst shotgun. We'll see if he can find more with it. The pump action, that is, sorry. As he creeps on down once again, Nate on point. And now, at 3v2, they still have the dot. It's on TYLOO to get into the building, but they know that they have them split.
Yeah, I mean, they can just sit there and wait, pick up a kill here, or just know the fact that this person gets fed over to the blue zone, and then it's a 1v3. TYLOO has all of the cards in their favor right now. It's just a matter of how much they want.
The jammer pack comes out handy as he gets down one. Theerathon, you know you're in a 1v2. It's not going to be easy, but if you wait for too much longer, it's going to be a 1v3. They have to come to him. They know where they have him. Longs is blind for a second, but as you can see here, at least the first 3 takes are going to go their way, and in the end, Xiaoyang will bring it home. Not a flashy game from TYLOO, but they knew what to do. They flew in, they knew when to engage, and they get themselves a 7-kill win. It's not going to be easy to get out, but you called the FaZe split, and seems like Falcons is coming to punish.
They just send it straight into it, but the defensive line holds. Grex is going to go ahead and get one. Silzen, though, is going to go ahead and make sure that he's going to go down off of it. He's going to be picked up in the posting side. Grex is going to have to step away from it. This is just a duo holding up as Falcons just get ripped apart from everywhere. And now FaZe coming in, it's just a full regroup, and this is just done for them.
Good thing for FaZe is they don't have to defend once again because they're going in another direction, straight into 17 Gaming.
I mean, you got to do what you can. Jumps out, Sonic at least gets the down. You can see going for the flush like, okay, this is going wrong. Let's at least try to get a point out of it.
Yeah.
We do see a separated 17 running similar to what we saw come up with FaZe. Issue is, 17 couldn't quite get the same defensive line that FaZe did. Now it's all slowed down. Regroup is coming out from 17, but you got to give it... Kia's doing a good job on surviving in this one.
And we talked about it before, 17 having NaVi right behind him. There's a nade coming through. You can already see Alia in the minimap on the left-hand side. Expendables starting to flex in this direction too. If this fight doesn't come to a close fast, it's going to be difficult for them to maintain their footing. And just like that, Little Ghost gets knocked. They already have Sushu out, and they have Xiaowu knocked as well. NaVi might just want to fully commit on a proper pull-up here because they're going to get a good compound out of it, and they're going to take out one of the main threats in the center of this circle. Teams playing reactive to the potential of pickups coming through. Park those cars safe and be smart about it, but pre-nades locked on through as NaVi are denied on entry.
That is just a catastrophe. Now he was trying to hold it. He's going to go down. Mel playing the outside of this one, just the last one up. No real winners in this situation. You can see 17 still already down 2.
Wow.
You're going to be able to pick up NaVi, pick up those kills, but that's kind of what they've been feasting off of, right? Everybody's just been coming to them, and I mean, still, even if they do go out 8 points already, that's a pretty decent game. But at the same time, it was they were trying to regroup and fortify. Danawa was trying to make the push into where we see Petrichor Road at. You can see 17 trying to make the cross through. Remember Mel a moment ago that just sent it in just a few seconds beforehand. He's going to stop, get those shots onto 17. Looks like the push coming out from Danawa is going pretty well. Well, it was going pretty well.
It was going pretty well. He gets the double. Does that mean that Soniqs pulls up on this too? They have 2 knocks in the building. It's still doable. It's a 1v2, and Unluckily for Soniqs, he's down to under half HP, so I think he's going to have to skip this one. And once again, I mean, while they did have individual performances, I guess with Salute and Loki having had their individual games now, it's Soniqs' turn. 755 takes him out. Dogmine will bleed out as well as the circle swings right back down the river.
Cerberus getting heavily rewarded for that. They were trying to send it in. TYLOO's got a full defended position onto him. They haven't managed to make it in safe zone yet, but with those shots, now 755 has to contend with LG, who's trying to carry them back behind this one. TYLOO finds himself suddenly pinched as the circle favors them, but also in the worst of ways, QM spraying down into him. Petrichor Road sees what's going on with 755. It's just a mess for everybody in the south.
TYLOO is trying to flex out and do damage to Cerberus, but Luminosity won't allow that to happen. 755 is there ready to defend, but he has just fallen. So that is that behind defender gone down. Question mark still yet to make an aggressive play. You can see how open this stretch is, but that is a nade on point, and that is going to be Cerberus out.
We are not even close to being done with this. Soniqs is going to go down. 17 Gaming is trying to creep forward, but where we see T5 out, we've got Soniqs. We've got TE also needing to make a similar path, and while this is going to be going on, Gen.G making a desperation push up into the area where Petrichor Road's going to be at. While we see all of this coming down, Petrichor Road is defended up. Wasn't expecting the angle that they saw Gen.G coming from. Hit a couple of shots, but now Petrichor Road is hoping that these nades can pay up something for them, and they're not going to connect in the way they want.
Once again, a Gen.G pull-up where POMI now is here, but was not here at all for the start of this fight. Oh my god, if one nade hits here, that is 3 kills coming through. Do they get away in time? Yes, they do.
But the T5 firing line!
Yeah, you'd have to imagine that is just them running from one slaughterhouse straight to another. They pull up, mistime it, and now they try and get away, but they're in the lowlands, they're in the open, they're in the Valley of Death.
This is the circle. You can see what they're driving into right now. There is nothing to be had here. They're having to take these shots. They're having to eat it. They're just trying to find something that they can cower into, but it's the same time that Petrichor Road's moving forward.
Oh my god,
oh my god, the nade's not even going to go the right direction.
He's blocking off the door.
That is just a hot box. There is nothing to be done for Gen.G.
That is the most insanely well-timed play there. And you know what, Pio? He just denied 1 point. I'm not against that. They were going to get it. They were going to get it. So for the fact that Pio nades himself, whether it be on purpose or not, at least you denied one, because that was easily going to go the other way. Soniqs now full speed forward, trying to get to the circle. Tanvu finds the flush and the double. The stance here from Expendables works out for them, despite them being the ones to have players knocked just before.
Shrimsy all alone and by himself right now, as you can see the 17 duo trying to see if they can maintain being a duo. Tanvu dancing around, multiple members for the Expendables are around him. He spots it out, goes for space. Shrimsy spins it back around, but that's just going to be the information they needed. LG is eyeing into this one, but LG, who's been quiet for quite a while, has such a strong position in the circle.
That flick from Shrimsy was absolutely disgusting.
17 Gaming now looking in. QM trying to make some more of their rotation. They do get to that wall, but that's going to be it. We're looking at contained fights mostly between QM and Petrichor Road, as well as 17 and LG. Nobody else really getting too involved, as they don't want to step into T5 sideline.
Exactly. Best of luck should be able to get the rest up to 1. And, I mean, both Adusi and Philfirst are inside the circle. So a good thing for them is no one is in a spot from where they can flush him. But, of course, we all know that one single mortar, and that's death to all of Question.
There's that hillside I was talking about. See the path as it navigates through. That's going to be how people are going to try to do something about T5. Yeah, that's about all you got.
Oh, Adusi instantly headshot, and that is going to be the entire team down. And now Petrichor alongside Theerathon making sure that Question Mark could not cross. They get the circle once again, and just like that, Petrichor's position is actually looking really solid down below.
17 Gaming at a ridiculous 11 kills, mostly due to those early crashes and the way that they exploited that. But they're still clinging to life. With the 2 members that they had to do a couple of small skirmishes to get into this one. So it looks like that nade is going to come close, but it is going to be enough to at least shoo them away from it.
They're dead.
Oh, follow-up nade hits, and now we're going to get the hillside firefight. It is going to be LG, T5, and Petrichor Road.
It's very hard for Theerathon to get off of this ridge line and take a fight without being fully exposed to the opponents, no doubt about it. Oh, Soniqs, that's a helmet gone for Chewy, no doubt about that one either, as he's unfortunately the isolated player for the team, should be completely done for here.
LG actually has a pretty strong pathing that they can use from this. T5 finally realizing the vulnerabilities of their compound. They have the numbers advantage. They're now going to start playing this more aggressive. But that does also mean that they're kind of sweeping in back behind Petrichor Road. Petrichor Road just let's be honest, in some trouble. Xlift has nothing that he can do. He's going to be out from this one. Means that it's going to be the LG sight lines down in the lower ground versus T5, still just trying to get a read on exactly how LG is playing this. Flood has tried to make a similar move to what we saw doing Hasawat doing a moment ago. Moves down here. He needs to get this out of position, but the rock line just isn't going to let him do it. He's on the outside of this, so he's still going to have to get something. This is just a play of desperation, saying we're backs against the wall. There's nothing we can do. That shift coming out from T5 is so good. Blue Zone nade's going to come in, and there is just nothing LG can do. They don't have the sight lines for it.
No sight lines, and now blinded as well as their rocks are engulfed in the blue. More smoke's being locked on forward. Flashes for days as they're taking the eyes out of the head of Kickstart, trying to really deny any sort of vision. It's all on Flood to try and prevent the entirety of Theerathon 5 to move forward, and so far he's applying just enough pressure to force them back, but there should be no way that LG is allowed to get the rest on through. No way they're allowed to fully reset, but it seems like Theerathon 5 has pushed back. They know they have the dot. They can wait this one out.
They're now starting to go for the res. That little bit of pressure that Flood's provided is enough. Now he's going to drop down, try to get himself into the zone. He just needs to get closer and closer to this off-angled position. Maybe somebody on T5 will reveal themselves, because there needs to be something. This is just trying to play for errors. That's all LG is doing. They're waiting for T5 to make a mistake, walk in the wrong angle, and exploit it, but T5 just isn't doing it.
I mean, T5 is smart. They're waiting. They know that Flood right now is being the nuisance, and they know he has to move. That rock was not inside the circle. Now it's only the cover that the smokes can grant him, and he has none of his own. He's relying on his teammates to throw anything down there to help him out. Hatsawat, though, soon will be in the exact same situation. He has to come off this rock in just a couple of seconds' time. So right now I think it's going to be Flood versus Hatsawat on the southern side, and on the other side it's going to be Soniqs and Kickstart against the rest of Theerathon 5.
And this 1v1 is so big. Hatsawat is focused up the hillside into Kickstart, and the duo, is that going to open it enough for Flood to get anything? He can't find just no angle to work with just quite yet, but somehow the duo of LG has managed to fight their way into it. Rusted does manage to get down Flood, but here comes the firefight. Stepping in, Snickers gets it down and the flush onto one, but it comes at a cost of him going down. That is going to be LG eliminated, and T5 finding themselves a chicken dinner.
And it's not a bad place to be. You know you're going to be shifting away from water eventually. You know you're going to be shifting away from the mountains. And you know, if you don't, you should have shifted away from Haisagi, because he will find you any day of the week.
At this point, I don't think that Cerberus is a three-headed dog. I feel like it's a four-headed dog, because every single one of them can fight.
NaVi has had some really good games out of this eastern side of the city. In the meantime now, though, we talked about Theerathon 5 and Cerberus just before. We're starting to see fights for these compounds, for these priority areas of the map, as both NaVi and TYLOO, alongside Theerathon 5 and Cerberus, having a bit of a fight.
But Kickstart playing this very, very patient, just waiting for the moment. Oh, and is it going to be Flood that follows in? Or are we just going to see them crest up the hillside? Nade's now going to come out, and it's just going to be a directed retreat as the nade just bombs back in their face.
Solid double up on over. They knew exactly where they had him, and now Little Ghost has to see if he can make a play off of it. Trying to wrap around one side. Xiaowu is going to try and help him out on the other. It's just Flood lying over here. The issue is every single time they peek over the ridge, not only do they have Luminosity to worry about, but multiple other teams on the other side too. We hop over towards the east coast now. There's FaZe and Danawa fight one another, and Fex finally showing up here on the global stage. Finds the double. A little bit of help from Grexy and James there too. And once again, Danawa, 4 games in, only been able to catch 9 points.
Oh, this LG, man, that felt like a, you know, sometimes it's better to commit to a bad plan than it is to like try to figure out a good plan. They had a goal in what they were wanting to try to accomplish and then stepped away from it, and that nade just destroyed them. Molotov going to continue in. Snaker's going to go down from just more and more continual harassment. This is just a matter of time, it feels like, as now all the attention that Kia had has been shifted into LG's direction.
You say that, but you can see here, as soon as they peek on over, once again, Falcons up there defending. They don't care who they have to defend. They will defend both if they have to. And now Gen.G are starting to backfill. PO is far, far away, doing PO things as he always does. But Tame and EG and DJ98 are starting to creep up behind their team, so they have to be very fast if they want to be able to turn around. They do get them down in time, but here comes the push from behind.
It's going to be Gen.G now realizing the fact that, okay, we we've got the numbers advantage into this, start making sure that we can exploit it. Nade's going to be coming out. Suju's going to step away, use some cover. But again, this high ground positioning from the Falcons is just refereeing every bit of this firefight. As though the blue zone Nade is going to be able to get away from it, and just narrowly.
Yeah, Xiaowu does get flushed on out. Suju now goes down to Silson as well. 800 make that almost 500 damage come through from Silson. Probably just a little bit of the damage that is currently on the side of the entire Falcons team, as they have been farming up from the west side mountains. Once again, APAC action towards the north. We have Daytrade up here joining them as well. Stanadol, one of the prime players for Theerathon Five success so far in PGS2, will try and creep further forward. Tycon did get rest. Haisaki forced to prone down, no vest available. They have to be ready for the push over the top. And with a few bullets missed, they will be. Tycon finds one, instantly traded as a double from Theerathon comes through.
Cerberus gonna play this one as clean as possible, and they cannot do it. The sight lines just were not there. It got close. That's why being the last one up needs to commit in, but here comes Daytrade, as we are also got Petrichor Road wrapped in back behind this. Jeebus was making a play into what Petrichor Road was doing, was taking a couple of shots in and forced them to kind of commit to this faster. Should be able to pick up a couple of kills out of this just with nades.
3 knock players, that's a double coming through. Kupi did wipe as a whole, and indeed it is. 1 point gets gifted to Tycon, another to Haisagi. The remaining 2 goes the way of Summer, and that is Petrichor wrapping up a lot of points on that northern side, and even more importantly, getting themselves way more space to play.
So we do see a bit more of this Falcons TYLOO fight, as Falcons have had to come down and descend from that.
Down they go, down towards the compound, but a little bit of help coming from the side. That's Mime finding one that Nate, bouncing a bit too far, could have been really, really good, as all the Falcons are running on top of one another, but now they've made landfall. 3 of them are in. What can Longs do as he meets them up close? Imix able to get the first one down, but here comes one from the side, and Imix turns on 755, and that is TYLOO down. This right here is playing perfectly into the hands of FaZe Clan. You can see as soon as that first knock comes through, they're all eyeing this fight. They're going to peek over from behind and get a really, really good part of this fight. Summer finds one, Mill finds another. A lot of damage coming through towards Daytrade, but not able to get all of them. And now Soniqs peeking over from one side. FaZe is going to peek over from the other as well.
This is just going to be an absolute sandwich. Daytrade, Petrichor Road just smashed in between Soniqs on one side, FaZe on the other one, exploiting high ground advantages and just raining in the damage. It is just, what, I would say at this point about an 80% chance of rain, but that rain is just going to be bullets and mortars, nades, everything you could potentially want.
And there you have it. H-Win with a double, takes down Petrichor. They thought they had a good play in the making, but not quite the case. Daytrade falls immediately after. Falcons cannot play out in the open. That is allowing them to push further forward. And now FaZe again trying to make something happen where there is nothing to do. Nice headshots come through from Correxi, but it ain't gonna be enough. I am a little worried for Falcons here. They're still trying to claim both the warehouse and the main brick building up towards the north. They should prioritize one. Just give up the low ground to the opponents. Play 3 out of the top. Now with Capitan getting the knock, run off, Fred. You're 36 HP. You got the flush even. Get back up that hill, because if you're focusing south, you can be damn sure Soniqs are going to be backfilling easily on top of you.
I mean, I do like the fact of clearing out 17 Gaming, making sure that they have this unsecured. They've got 3 members commit into this compound. Let Soniqs have the northern one. PO, though, is going to make it more problematic, as it is going to be Emmy going down. Now, exchange of shots, as Shrimzy is going to get some vision into it, as the entirety time that this is going to be going on, Gen.G is going to have to contend in with the fact that NaVi is creeping up right back behind.
Exactly. All of Gen.G was looking up towards this compound. No one is holding their backs, and NaVi is saying, thank you, we'll take full advantage of exactly that. Taemin first one to fall. PO caught out in the middle of the open as he goes down as well. Now EJ falls as well, and what looked to be a good push from Gen.G, they did not have the eye in the back, and therefore they crumble.
Bounce around the vehicles as Soniqs is making the concerted push into Falcons territory. But remember, it's going to be Gen.G remnants coming out from this one, so it's going to be a 1-2 punch combined together to take out the Falcons. Is Soniqs going to continue this rundown as they've got the entirety of this compound now in control, and it's just going to be DG that they're going to have to contend with in close range, but the circle pops so far away from it. Soniqs using the small bit of firefighting that happened over here, a couple of bullets being exchanged as an opportunity to jump up into the north. 2 of their members, technically 3 of their members, about to be all 4 of their members, getting in this high ground, takes out Duck Juice. That crossfire now gone. North belongs to the Soniqs, as the south is just going to be a massacre. Gen.G is trying to get out, and they're going to have to run right next to NaVi, as there's nowhere for them to really go, while TE is going to be flanking it right back behind this one. Uba is going to go ahead and go down in this one. Gen.G still fighting for their life on this hillside, but there is no winner to be had over here.
Nice plays coming through from DG, really using the fact that his teammate is back up on the other side to his advantage. EJ, nice 1-2 punch for them. Issue is they've allowed Expendables to claim up all over this hill. They're down to low HP, but somehow Expendables just can't find the flushes. They're going in the hands of of Soniqs, who are starting to take more and more control. 8 kills and counting as the boys in blue start to really run away with this one.
By losing Duck Juice, now it's going to be a reposition coming out from TE. 777 has had to move himself up into the north, which means that TE had to be a little bit messier in that fight with Gen.G down to the south, and DG is still alive for them, and everybody is just kind of fighting around where Kia is at.
Let's see how many different fights Soniqs stats take at the same time here. There, H1 is slowly making his way up the top of the hill, and now the element of surprise on 777 has passed, but he finds one. Mime falls. Can they reset? Instantly, smokes deployed. And you can see Delvin here wants to go for the rest, but it's simply not going to happen. There's too far over to 777 as Tiggleton instantly pops off to hold the angle while the rest comes through.
But at this point, you're playing for in-game and win. You're not playing for that one kill.
H1 is rapping on this one. I like the idea. Now Strimsy peeks over the top, gets the double on Delvin and Tanwu, as well as Soniqs reach kill number 10. They don't know exactly where DG went. They know there's still a solo linker in somewhere, and they know that the game is ending outside the compound. So they're sitting on the back with their backs against the blue, just waiting for the snakes to present themselves.
They've been tracking the kills as it moves forward. They want this fight to happen, and then they want to exploit what happens next. They wanted some weakening to happen because the Americano already down to half-life just makes it that much easier for them to have to contend with. Now that that's happened, you can see this is your go moment. Sonic's just going to step forward, start throwing out their utility. H1 was going to be leading the way with a solid gun to try to get something, but Americano defends it up. Good headshot, but that's still a lot of Soniqs members just flooding down into the thick of it. I don't know if Americano, which way are you going to try to be looking as Deva now making a flank play into this?
Mime is far out in the blue. He doesn't have anything to work with somehow, though. He's not seen. Mime goes down. Tiggleton finds one in return. And just like that is a 2v1, but this one is turning out to be a lot more hard to claim than what I thought it would be for Soniqs. It's a 2v1, flashes galore. Deva is blind for days. It should be an easy pick up in there, but they're both blind. As Deva finds one, and thankfully for the Soniqs, Tig is able to turn it around, but you can see that face. That ain't smiles, that ain't joy. That was way closer to a second place than Soniqs would have wanted it to be.
So, Taman getting a pistol, whereas Gustav's got himself a rifle to work with, and that's going to be a far more efficient to start this off.
Well, we buff the M16, and there it comes. Shows up, and it's been put to use. 2 kills quickly, else can be as EJ and Taman fall down. And Gen.G, I mean, they...
17 Gaming is going to go for the crash into it, and a quick push. Can Gen.G defend?
Yep, it's all on Gen.G's. DG98 to fend off here. A lot of damage is coming in from the side as Gene is able to do damage on one. Finds Xiaobei. Sushu falls down as well. As the standoff works, at least for now. Little Ghost is still alive. Xiaowu is too. Can they do anything against these two players and all of the players outside trying to deny their entry to the gas station?
It is just like the postgame. All the players crept up inside the bathroom trying to stack up on top of each other as the rest of Gen.G getting more and more control of this one. Pio still playing around the outside, not letting Little Ghost in. But you can see this is just an awkward stack for 2, waiting, being patient, waiting to see if they step out. All while Falcons are taking referee shots in, denying 17 pathing.
As this pull-up came through, Soniqs sent it through the sky up to Gustav. They took him down as well, and that is now more pressure being kind of alleviated for 17 Gaming. They're starting to realize this. We're not getting shot from behind. Now is the time to push.
Gen.G is playing this so well, using every piece of cover and denying angles. Look at the way Pio is bouncing around. This is exactly why they opted into playing this. This is it. Hit and run tactics coming up from Pio is exactly they wanted to play it. Also, the way that these angles come out, it really denies a lot of the sight lines for the nades. And you can see 17 just not finding successes. This entrenched Gen.G duo is just putting up a hell of a fight.
Exactly, got to be so smart about how they move around here, because as you can see, Falcons on the other side shooting towards them. And now Soniqs are starting to look down in this direction too. Xiaowu with 2 nades still to work with. That one could have a target on it, and indeed it does. DG98 down.
Finally gets the bounce into it. They shift over the nades the opposite direction. Going to Brave back in. Pio's got vision, goes for the shots, gets the knock at 1, but finally, Gen.G goes down. They made it hellacious, but it is going to be 17 that finds it, while Soniqs making a play into the hillside. Could see or hear this, but I think that they're just going to stop up. Petrichor Road also spotting out what's happening. I want to remind everybody, Petrichor is kind of in a dip, and this is going to be what's going to happen, right? Look at everybody that's inside of Impala. We've got NaVi, we've got Soniqs, we've got TE, we've got QM, we've got Daytrade trying to get out. this is going to get very, very bloody.
It sure is. You can see Daytrade tried to get out of the city, tried to wrap around, but not gonna happen. Norrens wanted to wrap further around, I think, to get over to Push Hills, but couldn't quite make it there. Now, Daytrade down to just Belmont and Flash, and maybe only even for a short while. As you see Cerberus and the kill feed come off against Theerathon Five. Daytrade instantly after it moved, and just like that, 8 players out in a split second. Elliot, shotgun in hand.
Now getting the vision in, but look right on the opposing side of it is what's going to be nerve-wracking on it. Nades on both sides. Oh, I didn't even see him walking over. Now does, though, and just going to be patient with that shotgun.
That should be an easy one. Nice setup there. Example right around the corner. Playing a bit of a surprise role. I love the fact that Elliot did as much as he could to attract the attention while Example was literally just sat still. They will have him knocked on. Oh, Example had a nade cooked in hand, so he's going to fall to it now. Question mark again. This fight was going to happen eventually, but they read it smartly. They saw that 755 was a lone issue, as 755 is packing a punch.
And here comes Shin on the backside of this one, full on flank around in position. 755 did a great job on surviving, opens up the angles. Shin stepping in means the fact that QM finds themselves pinched, and Shin walks straight up into this. That duo just erases question mark and leaves behind an exclamation point.
Question mark made the perfect read. It's a 3-1, a 2-1 split. Let's aggress on it, but 755 stood strong, takes down 3. That is going to be question mark out, and now NaVi, back we go. They find Delvin, but instantly after, Strimsy finds 1. Soniqs still playing a massive factor in this city fight, as they have not come off the hill just yet.
With this, we still have Impala being the problem of problems. Soniqs, you were saying, how do you even get down there? Well, Navi's just pushing through. The shotgun blast isn't going to connect the way he wanted it to, so TE still looking up that hillside into what's going on with Soniqs, as this is now opened up, as CE also wraps down next to DK. And yeah, Americano, this isn't too comfy.
Nope, Cerberus knows that they have to make a play here. They want to clear off this angle before moving further forward. Soniqs still have yet to make their way off the hill, and now Danawa with the comfort of the compound, and the mortar still there, doing what they can to deny TYLOO any sort of entry, or escape, I should say, from the dip they currently find themselves in.
This could be a factor moving further forward. Cerberus playing this one slow and steady. Blue Zone not quite going as far as they wanted it to, but Isaki's got to kind of retreated back as they're committed into the res. No big commitments quite yet, but Nuno doing just a good job of being a thorn in the side, while FaZe taking all of this time to reposition is just going to pounce on whoever walks out of it.
And again, it's a small thing, but it's the first time we really see them play more. Like usually, we would see teams be much more in a hurry to get towards the circle, but all these players are running around with the jammer packs. They have that extra couple of seconds to fight on the edge of blue, but now FaZe, well aware that Cerberus are crossing on foot. They have to set up for this. They have to prepare for the push from the top APAC team.
Everybody can see it. Team is trying to line in, shots going in onto the vehicle, but it's going to be a quick exchange between both. Cerberus now sneaking in right on top of this as FaZe move to the wall, allowing Cerberus just to shift up right next to him.
Absolutely huge play from Cerberus, using the gutter on the right-hand side for as long as they can. They know that FaZe has pushed down towards the river side or the ocean side to make a play there, but they went all the way around, and now somehow they've gotten full control. In the meantime, now Danawa trying to stand off against TYLOO. It's through falls. Make that 3. Make that all of them. As they go down, TYLOO down, Danawa prevails.
This is Tig is going to spot out Duck Juice and finish that out, as he's now also going to make a pathing into it. FaZe still continuing into this fight. It's just going to be Corexy and Fex left, and you can see Fex not feeling too good as Hisaki wants to step out more. Does he know? I'm pretty sure he does. Yeah, how's the nade going to bounce into that one? And yeah, that was just well done.
This is good. I mean, he couldn't commit to the flush there because he didn't know how close the opposing teams, or the opposing players were, and him as around the other side knew, wait, he's not going for a first hit, and I hit him quite a lot, so just lob an 8 on over, and he should be good.
Again, this was just so well read by Cerberus, like you were talking about, to shift in. The circle is going to favor this position, so Corexy not going to be in the biggest rush for it, but hey, you know, he'll take some kills, and all right, Corexy, go and get you back. Is he going to be able to get Vex? He should be fine with that. Full back flank, back behind Danawa, and you can see this is why they can't move, man. Yeah, it's just throwables now coming out from everywhere as the vehicle's just getting shredded.
Double kill coming through as that car explodes, you'd have to imagine. Nope, Loki just exactly able to crawl far enough away. That's a blue zone nade, and that should be him down in just a moment as the entire field turns blue. The double stack comes through. You could only imagine, yep, that's Loki down. Just one more left alive on the side of Danawa as Soul is trying to creep his way towards the circle, but look at the amount of opponents in front of him. Finds kickstart though.
never ever count out Soul. He's got to creep forward. The Venn diagram of Blue Zone just absolutely demolishing him. But while this is going on, Falcons putting in some work on Petrichor Road, opening up some type of possibilities for Soul to exploit as Falcons, making that shift in. Soul's got a couple options to work with. Petrichor Road just kind of eyeing into everything that's happening with Falcons.
Everyone on the server fighting in the northwest, and now even FaZe is starting to realize, wait, we want a part of this too. You can't just be the only ones fighting, because every single team is fighting over the same 50 meters.
Who wants the compounds when you got buildings and dips? And that's what everybody is after right now. 17 Gaming crossing the road, making the push into the firefight with the Falcons. It is becoming unrelenting. At least LG is now distracted and get too involved in this. It's its own fight. Everybody making their way down into this trench. 17 playing the top side of it. Has got to be careful though. Soul could pop up at any given moment, and he does right now. Goes for the spray, but he is going to be going down with Emmys on one side of it. Soul still playing back behind.
Yeah, Little Ghost are trying to slow things down at least for a bit. They've only just now crossed the street. They've only just now figured out exactly what's going on the other side, and they're seeing players all over the place. Finds one, Xiaobei instantly swings on the second. He hears DraftKings wrap around the side, but doesn't have the exact angle on him. He loses him for a brief moment. Let's see if they can find him, and just like that, Little Ghost holds the angle, and 17 gets to live with 3 up.
Now we've got to pop down to the other side of this with LG. It's going to be Fex still trying to hold out Soul. No, wait, we're not done here. Soul's got some goals of his own, realizing he has the opportunity. Little Ghost, the only one up, committed into the res right now, but
Soul from it does seem the fire from the burned out car is just enough cover for Soul to wrap back the other direction. Now Soniqs finds Fex, but FaZe already down to few players, so it's just Corexy left alive against the entirety of Luminosity.
They are just cresting the hillside. No worries, but Corexy is on fire right now. Makes it hazardous. It's going to be very, very close. Flood needs to go for something. While this is happening, 17 Gaming still too far away, cannot get anything out of this. That hill's going to block out the sight lines.
They're sprinting. They know that it's a 4-man Luminosity on the other side, but as you're saying, too far away to get impact. But as I say that, it's the solo and it's the duo. They're taking the fight to the 4-man team.
He's got some goals and he is just charging, and he knows that they're weak and he's paying attention. Danawa trying to make the worst of, or the best of a terrible situation, moves in. It's been so long.
He's just doing it alone.
He's coming in off this. If he
don't shoot him.
Don't shoot him. He's trying to help you.
17. What are you doing? Wow, the help coming over the top. Xiaowu now trying to flank down below. Do they see him? Do they realize that they are getting outflanked? It's a 2 versus 4. The odds are against them, but if Xiaowu finds a double, it could be huge, and Flood falls instantly.
That spray control right off the go is just so vicious. Little Ghost to one side, Xiaowu in the open. That is just going to be terrifying to contend with. Little Ghost now making his way up into the high ground. It's going to be on Snakers to try to defend it. It looks like he knows. He's playing inside of the bush, but while that's happening, Xiaowu starting to play this more aggressively. Little Ghost taking the shots in, gets another knock, gets another one. 17 Gaming doesn't care about numbers. They care about how much damage they can put out.
They are just unstoppable on this one every single time they peek. Oh no, they find players, and Xiaowu does it again. They do not know of Kickstar's position, but they don't care. 2 versus 4, and 17 push Luminosity in the grave.
From way up there, no big surprise on that one at all, right? As now we do have the firefight that's going to be happening in Vincere. NaVi's going to be making the push into where we see Dplus KIA at, as well as 17 trying to hold it together. But it's just going to be everybody kind of chasing around where 17 is, and 17's just looking in and going, hey guys, we'll just keep taking all of these kills. Thanks.
17 and NaVi was set up for like, okay, we're ready, like warming up, getting the gloves on and everything. Here comes Dplus KIA, just full speed in the middle of all of it. And they go, wait, we have to fight you guys too? Kind of chaos, yes indeed. As Dplus now sat with 2 alive, only 1 kill this game. It's not been the day they would have wanted.
We all know that Vincere, like leaps and steps, comes in as Example spins back around and just says no to H-Win. It is a duo that's over here, but NaVi continuing to rain in nade upon nade. The circle does pop up here, so it's at least some type of benefit for the people into it, but Uba says no, you cannot approach this way. No open sesame allowed.
Access denied. Example finds one more, and now a punch is finally coming back through onto NaVi. 2 players get knocked, but who will respond to this? Down one KIA looking the completely other direction. They don't want any piece of this whatsoever, despite the fact that Melman is the only player on NaVi on his feet.
Again, another great reposition coming up from 17, realizing how many teams are fighting in there, trying to regroup. T5 gonna have to be dealing with Petrichor Road, just rolling through, but it's not going the way Petrichor wants. They're just gonna have to now follow in one more time. Didn't work last time, not gonna work that time either.
We spoke of the quiet team, the slow pushers. Question mark, they might be maneuvering slow, but do not take that as a gospel of them not doing damage, because they're damn dangerous up close. We swing up towards Uber, though, as he does what he does best. Frags out, takes out Dplus KIA.
From we saw just a second ago, 777 now taking the shots. He's going full off-road. BMX dual flip.
Oh, so close, but the Bikers does not have the same horsepower as the Murano does. 17 gets the safety. The same thing cannot be said about Mel, who would probably really have wanted something a little bit faster in that situation.
Mel's got to go back and hit the gym if he wants to hit that Murano horsepower, right? As now finally FaZe eyeing more into the north as they say, okay, if everybody's going to be walking into this, we should have a good set of vision into it. But it is also going to be Gen.G with high ground taking some shots into 17. While this is all going on, TE is going to be wrapping in pretty close along a similar pathing, right up next to Uba, who decided to not take a bicycle because Terminators only use their feet, right?
Exactly. Or motorbikes, I suppose. In any case, Delvin up close now. Damage done. Finds Uba help from Tanvu down behind, but he deals with him himself.
Very, very close up and in, and it's going to be Vex that does spot on Tanvu, but he is going to go down. Corexy now has to come over, provide some type of support. James is still looking into the south wall. This is going on 17, trying to make its own move. FaZe might find itself picked apart if it's not careful, but it's going to be Corexy's aim that just says no.
Lops on forward, tries to get one more, but here comes the cavalry. Dog Shoes is here, 777 is here as well, and there's only one on the other side. Picks him up, but they're awful timing on that one. As Corexy goes down, and just like that again, even with everything going against them, they will be able to get at least one up, depending on whether or not Delvin has a jammer pack. He could potentially get up two.
As you can see, it's going to be that little ant moving in distance was going to be Gustav, who's now starting to take some shots back up into it, and the blue zone is going to finish out Delwyn. This is going to be TYLOO's struggle. You can see that they're dealing with this is the low ground disadvantage.
Yeah, it's so hard for all these teams to maneuver down this hillside. We have a pretty much perfect slant uphill towards the west, and everyone is just sat down there in their separate piece of the layer cake, waiting for teams to close up towards them. Danawa finally getting things going again as James and Gustav falls. That is FaZe out in 10th.
Circle did shift a bit to the west as Gen.G not going to have to move too much further, move down the hillside. They are aggressing into that Luminosity sightline, but it's going to be TE still having to contend up with Danawa, who's getting more active, realizing the fact that this is where all the party's been going on, and this is where KP can be found. Trying to spot him out, does spot out 777, but doesn't quite finish him off.
And there he goes. Okay, in the end he will fall, and again, I mean, for Danawa, usually we see the team that is sat inside that compound have a hard time get out of it, but they knew exactly what they had to do. Wrap around that northern side. Now, they do lose one on it, but at least they do get out. Best of luck logging down the fort, or the shack, I should say, as he finds DraftKings trying to make more of it. Now it's going to be hard because Capitan has a perfect angle. Yo, what?
Yep, just spray all of them to the dead.
Well, I mean, Luminosity have been running into Korean snakes all day. First it was LG, no, first it was, sorry, Loki on military, and now PO does some dirty with the Groza too. Going to be able to maneuver down this hillside. And in all fairness, I mean, regardless of whether it be a bike or not, you just don't want to be running down that hill. So perfect for Soul to be able to get the bike game on, get the BMX in there, and get going as fast as possible. Going straight down towards Thanadol in front of him.
Yeah, Thanadol playing this one slowly. That flash is going to connect, but nice little spin around on it. Goes for the shots back up. Reads it well, but can he get anything else? Nah, Soul's like, hey, thanks for throwing out the utility. Let me know what to do. Sitting back up, it's going to be more and more Danawa as it's going to be them sweeping down into longs, but Soniqs on the opposite side of the circle, trying to make sure that he gets control of that high ground.
Group stages, it took until the second to last game before they finally got themselves a game they could be proud of, and now, if they can do so here in the first day of this one, they might just be in for a really good winner's bracket, regardless of where they're set in the leaderboards right now. PO finds number 4 as we make our way into the top 3.
Again, the Gen.G shift coming out closer and closer to Belmoth. That is just the deadliest jack in the box waiting to pop off. But any given second, spin's going to be coming out. Thema does connect into Neurons, but that's as good as gone as Poochoo's still creeping forward. No big exploit has been able to happen just quite yet, and it's going to be a Soniqs that ends up going ahead and finishing it all out. Nades? Yeah, I think he's just picking up nades from his down teammate.
Oh, it goes close, but the angle, the camera beating us a bit there. Thought it was going to go right on DG98, but not quite the case. Pool Shields now really doing a good work job at helping out Danawa to get the rest on through. They cannot peek over that ridge line without Pool Shields and Neurons shooting towards him. And now Flash speed up down forward. Danawa don't want to wait no more. They have to push in on this.
And this is where it becomes more and more problematic. As this goes on, Gen.G is being forced into the funnel right in between both of these squads. It makes it an unofficial 4v4, and they're realizing this all stacked in. Poochoo, Neurons, move moving in, but they have got to be careful. They're now starting moving in sidelines for Danawa. Danawa's trying to exploit it, and that's going to be Soul. Picks them both up, and now Danawa looking down into a strong Gen.G.
Oh, and Onyx has 7 bullets left to work with, to nothing to do for him. This time around, it ain't gonna happen. Gen.G out victorious. High fives galore as the boys in yellow claim the last game of the day. And what a great fashion, what a great end game for Gen.G to just slowly play it Gen.G style, push in, and get themselves the win.